Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Take 5. It is Wednesday, June 1st, 2011. We are in a new month. We are in the same chapter that we've been in, and it's a negative chapter. Jesus is pronouncing curses on the religious, prideful leaders. But we're going to take a little bit of a break from that today and look at two verses. Matthew chapter 23. Verse 11, the greatest among you shall be your servant. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. And if that looks familiar to you, it is because you have seen this before in the book of Matthew. The point here, though, is anybody who would desire to lead in God's kingdom needs to lead from the point of being a servant. And if you want to be great for God, be humble. It's the opposite of the way the world views things. So I guess the way you could say it is the way up is down in the kingdom of God. And I want to lift up some leaders here. You know, most of this chapter is to condemn leaders. The leaders at my church are tremendous examples of this. Many times I've seen our leaders doing the manual labor. When our building was being built, they were out there, digging in the dirt and hauling things off and getting their hands dirty and their faces sweaty, and their wives as well. You see them serving and teaching our children, and they don't sit on the front row. They don't sit behind the preacher or up on the stage or anything. They very much practice this. They park way off and walk and let our guests and other members have the better parking spots. They don't have their own designated parking spots. They are tremendous examples of this. I've got to give them credit. Every one of them. I don't know a single one. We got 9. Single one of our elders who is not a tremendous servant. And they don't call attention to themselves. I'm sure most of the stuff they do I don't even know about. But just the stuff I've seen shows me that they have this attitude. It makes me want to imitate them. So, again, I said I'm not going to get negative today. And I won't, because I certainly could. There are plenty of leaders and plenty of places that don't practice that. And I guess that was a little bit negative. But I do want to stay positive and just say, hey, these guys are doing a great job. And this applies to husbands as well, and fathers. So learn to lead from a point of humility and a point of sacrificial service. Anybody, if you're in any position of leadership in God's kingdom, whether as a husband or a father or a teacher or an elder or an evangelist, or you lead a committee of some kind, sacrificial service. And of course the best example is Jesus. And you think of what Jesus did when he got his 12 disciples together for the Lord's Supper. He washed their feet. So be willing to do the things that might be considered beneath you. Down is the way up. Alright, come back tomorrow. We got to get negative again tomorrow, but I wanted to be positive today on the next edition of Take 5.